Hello, friends. My cousin Wayne asked me to come by today because I'm an expert in certain topics, and he wants me to come by today to show you how to put new strings on a guitar. I'm pretty good at it. He ain't. He's not very good at it. He knows it. That's why he calls me up all the time. But first, I guess I should probably show you what this guitar sounds like before we change the strings, because there's a big difference, you know. It is. These strings, after a while, you know, especially these coated strings, that little coating gets all worn off and they lose their brilliance, if you know what I'm talking about. Brilliance, it's kind of like, you know, it's kind of like the sunshine shining through the snow-covered branches of the trees where it shimmers and glistens, and you know, you feel like you're in heaven or someplace like that. I mean, it's that brilliance. Anyway, he wants me to show you what it sounds like before. So here is the guitar with some old strings. Now these strings, you know, these are not very old, but they need to be changed. So we're going to do that today. But here's what it sounds like now. So let's get down to it, folks. You know, I'm going to put the guitar up here. You have to have a place where you put this guitar to do this task. So let's get that to happen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just move my chair out of the way, and I'm going to take this guitar and put it right up here like this. Now, that's where we're going to start, folks. Okay, folks, so, well, let me just tell you first, I always start off with the bass string. This is the number 6 string. I always start with that one because it's the heaviest gauge. I don't ever remove all of the strings at one time unless I'm doing some major maintenance to the neck of the guitar or to the body of the guitar. So I always start with this string, number 6. The first thing you have to do is loosen the tension on it, okay? Because you can't just take the string off under tension, if you know what I'm saying. Now, I have this right here is a peg. So I have this right here is a peg turner. It's taking the tuning peg here and it makes it easy to tighten it or loosen it quickly. So there are different kinds of these. I've had this one, you know, for maybe, I don't know, man, maybe 25 years. You know, that could be true, 25. This one here, I just bought this one the other day. I wanted to try it out because it has a few things I like. It has string cutters built into it. It has this peg remover for the strings at the tailpiece down there. And it also has the winder here for the pegs. So, I don't know. This one was expensive. Hey, I'm thinking away because this might have been somewhere around $11, you know, or something like that. This one was not too expensive. So, let's tune this down. Let's go ahead and remove the tension. There we go. There we go. There we go. That's what I like to see now. Folks, I'm trying really hard to make this so that you can understand it. So forgive me if I screw up every now and then and use the wrong words from a different vocabulary, because my vocabulary is outstanding. So it's harder, you know, for me to like selectively choose words that other people can understand. So with the tension gone now, see how that tension's gone? Now we can move over down here to the bridge. So let's do that. Let's just do this. There we are at the bridge. So now, since this string is loose like the devil, we now want to pull this peg out. This has a little notch on the bottom. Do you see that notch? You see that notch there? That just goes right underneath the head of that peg. You just lift it up. Now, I never put these pegs in real tight. You don't have to put them in with a ball-peen hammer or a sledgehammer or nothing like that. You don't. Because the string almost holds itself in. Why? I'll tell you why. Because on the bottom end here, see that little bead? That goes down in there, and if you get it down in there far enough, it tends to hold itself in place pretty darn good. And if not, this just finishes the job of locking it in place. So sometimes I can remove these with my fingernails. So now that that string is free at this end, we'll go back up to the head. Let's just turn this like this and go back up to the head. There we are. So now what we have to do is just unwind this. If you notice, there are only a couple turns on here. That's it. It's not wrapped around there 196 1/4 times. It's just not. You don't need to do that, folks. That's a big mistake a lot of people make. It makes changing the strings a lot harder, and your strings don't stay in tune as well either when you got all that extra winding around there, because they can move around and stretch and all kinds of stuff. So, all right. So we're going to start with that top string. Now, the way these are packed, folks, by the way, in case you're wondering, I'm using these Elixirs. These are Elixir acoustic guitar string. Not electric, this is an acoustic guitar. These are 80/20 bronze composition. And they have a nano web coating, a very light coating around each bronze wrap. And these two numbers are the gauges from string number 1 way over here to string number 6 way up here. It starts at 11 thousandths and works its way up to 52 thousandths. Now, you can see here on the back, they show each individual gauge here, in case you want to know that. Okay, now I've got all that memorized. I could just, recite that in my sleep, okay, but no need for that right now. So these strings are packed from string number 1 to string number 6. So I'm going to take string number 6, the 52,000 string, pull it out of the wrapper like this. And these are just gently wound, very easy to get unwound. See like that? Notice that? Now this end with the ball on the end. This goes back there toward the bridge. We're going to put that end in first. Let's go back to the bridge. Oh, it just makes me dizzy. Okay, so here we go. Now, like I said, you don't want to get crazy with this. You don't want it to go in just like that. You don't want to sink it in 10 inches either. What I always do is I start it right here in the hole, and I let the peg do the work of putting it in at the proper depth. See, it's there and it's secure. And the reason I do that, if you put it too deep in the hole, this string will slowly slip out under pressure, and your guitar will go out of tune all the time. So don't do that, folks. All right, now it's time to go back up to the head section. Okay. Ooh, I went too fast. Made my head spin. There we go. Okay, can you see that head? All right. Now, so now what we do is we take the, where was I the other day? I saw this guy the other day. He was shoveling snow in his front yard. And he was talking about how he does guitars. And before I knew it, we had this great conversation going. You know, we were just having fun talking like two old people in their front yards. You know, we laughed and we enjoyed conversation and we got a lot done. I helped him shovel the rest of his driveway out, you know. It was a great time. So, yeah, look for those opportunities, folks. You know, they come around every now and then. I'm just saying that, you know, because I think because I forgot what I was doing. But, okay, yeah. So now we're at the head end here. Now, what I always like to do is I turn this peg until the hole in this tuning peg is horizontal, that direction. It makes it a little easier to figure out what you're doing, especially if you're a first timer. Now, I don't have to do that every time because I'm not a first timer. Okay, so now, the key here is all the strings are pushed through the holes from the inside. Okay, all of them are that way. You want to make sure you do that every time. So we're going to take this string, we're going to push it through here, like that. Don't you like that sound, eh? That sounds pretty cool. It's pretty cool stuff. Now what I do is I get it just about completely tight, but not all the way. You got to leave some slack in there, folks. You know, leave some slack in there. Gives you a little bit of turn on the tuning peg. Now this is the important part. To get this string to lock, we use a friction lock. And this will really help to maintain tuning of your guitar. So what we do now is we wrap the string back toward the inside, just like that. And we come underneath. See that? We have come underneath the string. And we pull this just like this and up. Now we take the peg turner and we want to make sure that this peg rotates on this side of the neck. We want to make sure it rotates counterclockwise so that this end of the string will start putting friction on this tail end of the string. See what I'm saying? And if you want to, you can pull on that a little bit. That's pretty darn tight. It's not going to go. It's under friction, folks. Now, while I'm turning this, I will try to get it close to tune as possible. Now, I know that my number 1 string down here is the same note, only a higher pitch than this one. There we go. We're pretty close right there, folks. We're just going to leave it right there. Now, don't worry about this little loop because it's not going to untune itself because there's friction around this tailpiece right here. And now that we're done with that, we can take our wire cutters. Let's see how good these work. We'll just go like this. And it's done, folks. That's string number 1. Correction, that is string number 6, but it's the first string. So now you just continue to do that for each of these strings on this side. And you do that for each of the strings on this side. Now I'm going to go ahead and finish this up. Now just remember, when you get to this side, you're feeding the string through that way, always from the inside out. As a matter of fact, I think what I'll do, let me show you this number 3 string right now. So let's go ahead and detune it. Let's take it down. Let's stretch it down. There we go, folks. Nice and loose, right? Okay, let's go back to the bridge. I like to make sound effects because it makes me feel like I'm having fun. So now, this is the string right here. It's number 3. 1, 2, 3. See that one right there? You can tell because it doesn't do nothing when you flick it. There's nothing there. So go ahead and put your tool under there. Lift up on it. Pop it out of there. And there you go, folks. That string is free. So now we go back up to the head. I love it. I do. It's so much fun. So, okay, since that's the 3rd string, I'm going to flip this over because now we have number 5 here, and it goes 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So I'm going to flip this over, and I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. This is our string. Okay. So I'm skipping ahead, folks. Like I said, normally I just go 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Not today. Not today. Okay. So I don't know why I came to the head section. We got to put this piece right here down at that end. Let's go back, folks. Here we go. I love it. Oh, I know why we went to there, to pull the string off. Oh well, we'll pretend we did that. Okay, so here we go. Put it in there. Let the peg push that string into place, and you'll notice that it stops moving after a certain point. The string does anyway. You want this to be bottomed out at the bottom of the bridge so it can't pull back through the hole. All right, back up to the head. Here we go. Yeah. Rock on, man, rock on. Okay, now I forgot to pull this one off, but it's going to pull off real easily. See there? Okay. All right, here we are, folks. That hole, she's pretty well horizontal already, hey? So we're going to stick this string right through here, like that. See how I went from the inside to the outside? You see that? There we go. Now we're going to come back around this peg and go under the string and pull this up just like that. So now when we tighten this, now this side from this angle is going to go clockwise. This way. This is clockwise. And you see what it does, folks? It puts pressure on this tail end of the string when you do that. There it is, folks. So let's see. So now we have this string pretty well in tune. It's important to do that because this keeps the neck from bowing under pressure. So when you do these strings one at a time like this, it keeps equal pressure on the neck of the guitar so your guitar neck doesn't start to warp and all kinds of crazy things like that, So we just cut this off and we're done with that. I'm going to finish the other 4 strings up here real quickly and then we'll get down to what it sounds like, okay? So, okay, we're done. I got it tuned up. So let's just see how it sounds. Let's try that same thing I was doing earlier. Maybe a little different. I don't know. We'll see, but let's just play it and see. I don't know about you, but I think it sounds pretty good, you know what I'm saying? So, okay, I'm going to turn it back over now to my cousin Wayne because I'm tired, folks. It was extraneously hard for me to dumb all this down. I have to go to sleep now, so. Okay. Hey, Cousin Eddie, thank you so much, buddy, for coming out today. I really appreciate it. I'll be calling you tomorrow for another project, okay? Alrighty, man. Hey, folks, today is T-minus 34 days and counting until the big reveal. I hope you enjoyed this video. Some of you might have guitars, and maybe tuning is a frustration for you because it's always going out of tune, or maybe changing strings is something monumental, and it's really not that hard, folks. There's a good way to do it. It's efficient, and it maintains its tune for a long time. So, enough said. I love you guys so much. Thank you for following me on this adventure. On April 2nd, the big reveal will take place. You folks be kind to one another. Spread the love all over this world. Spread it around your community. Spread it in your household. Spread it everywhere you go. Love you guys. See ya.